It's 2025 and playing Skyrim with all the texture mods, location overhauls, and quest mods are great, but there's still something missing. After trying out all the modern RPG games this 2025, comparing it with Skyrim's combat system is just full of jankiness. Hitbox being weird, point and slash, repeating animations, and just overall plain and outdated. I mean, what would you expect from a 2011 game? It may be great back then, but we all can agree that right now, it's definitely outdated. Thankfully, the Skyrim community has a ton of talented mod authors, and in today's video, I'll be helping you have the best combat overhaul you can ever have in 2025, from animations, NPC improvements, gameplay overhauls, and even some aesthetic improvements. So be sure to watch till the end, sit back, grab a popcorn, and enjoy the show. By the way, hear me out. In case you still don't have Skyrim or you're looking to buy other games, Instant Gaming's the #1 place to get discounted games for PC and consoles. You can even buy DLCs with a cheaper price to other games such as Skyrim AE or its Anniversary Edition upgrade. You'll definitely find better deals here. So if you're interested, be sure to use my link down below and buy cheaper games. Plus, we are also doing a giveaway with Instant Gaming where the winner gets to choose any game they want that's available on Instant Gaming's website. These are affiliate links which don't cost you anymore, but it helps the channel out. Let's start things off with essential combat mods. These are mods that are absolutely a must-have to have a better and fun experience. Plus, a lot of these are the foundations of the other mods to come. We have true directional movement, modernized third-person gameplay. What this mod does is that it overhauls the third-person gameplay similarly to modern action RPGs. With this mod installed, you'll now be able to have directional movement, a custom target lock system, head tracking that follows wherever your screen goes, and even projectile tracking. Compared to vanilla, the directional movement alone is a huge improvement as the camera will now not lock towards your character, offering a much more free movement. It's also worth mentioning that you can now fully rotate the camera on a mount, which was honestly annoying that we weren't able to do it in the base game. And if you want to further enhance the third-person view experience, I recommend getting Smoothcam. Smoothcam is a highly configurable third-person camera with smooth frame interpolation and raycasting crosshair to help you aim. This basically allows you to have different sets of presets depending on what you're doing. For example, if you're in a non-combat state, the camera will have the usual angle. But as soon as you draw on your weapon, the third-person camera angle will be different. And in case you're too lazy to customize your own preset, there are a ton available on Nexus at the moment. All you gotta do is search Smoothcam and you will find a bunch of presets. Like what I mentioned earlier, Skyrim's combat feels lacking, and one of the most annoying aspects of Skyrim's combat is its hitboxes. In vanilla Skyrim, the weapon hitboxes are all single frame, resulting in accurate collision. Lucky for us, precision accurate melee collisions fix exactly that. This mod introduces accurate melee collisions. Now when attacking enemies, you'll notice your attacks hitting your target more accurately, and if you look even more closely, you'll now see proper hit reactions depending on where your swing is coming from. Your attacks will now also have proper collision with the environment. This creates a sense of impact and length of the weapon which was not originally available. Using weapons such as greatswords or any two-handed weapons are now more advantageous. When fighting multiple enemies, swinging your weapon from left to right or vice versa will damage all of them thanks to the accurate collision. Another foundation mod I recommend you to get is Attack MCO DXP. This will serve as our foundation as the animations I'll be sharing later on requires this to be installed. The reason why most animation mods need this is because of how it changes the third-person attack mechanic. In vanilla Skyrim, there's this ice skating problem when attacking. You can basically attack while gliding sideways, resulting to a more cheesy gameplay. With this mod installed, every time you attack, your attacks are now committed. This overall makes animation look better. Moving on, we have 3 small fixes that you absolutely need. If you've ever used MCO or BFCO, you've probably noticed how chain attacks feel impossible whenever enemies block. That tiny recoil animation completely breaks the flow of the animations. No recoil fixes this, making combat seamless, especially with the new animations we're about to add. Additionally, I recommend getting NPC block loop fixed, as there are cases when NPCs annoyingly does infinite blocking, so having this mod will fix that, making enemies more aggressive. And lastly, for fixes, we have animation queue fix. Skyrim's engine gets overloaded when a lot of animations are queued for loading at the same time. When this happens, we usually see the infamous T-pose before returning back to normal. However, with this mod installed, it fixes all that, making everything more seamless when having a lot of animations. Now for the fun part, combat animations. I've been modding Skyrim for quite a while now, and if I'm being honest, there are indeed a lot of nice animations out there. From flashy JRPG combat animations to semi-fantasy, and a few even aim for something more grounded and realistic. Personally, I'm somewhere in the middle. I like animations that feel weighty and deliberate but still have a bit of that fantasy flair. And luckily, there's a new mod that absolutely nails that balance. For Honor in Skyrim. If you've played For Honor back then or maybe until now, these animations will feel like home as this mod introduces different animations for each weapon type. So now you'll get new animations for all the basic weapons you may find in Skyrim, such as the sword, katana, dagger, axe, and even other two-handed weapons. Of course, the author has planned to add more animations for different type of weapons in the near future. With this mod installed, all animations comes with their own chain attack, and depending on the weapon you use, you'll get pretty cool ones. Like when using a short sword, you get to see your character using the left hand to punch and also sometimes kick the enemies. Using a sword and shield will allow you to bash your opponents using your shield. Or if you're using a great axe, your character will sometimes do a power jump attack. I know it's not the perfect realistic combat animation, but I personally think this is still somewhat okay. At least we won't be seeing our character jumping 10 feet in the air while doing a spinning attack. Of course, there are other features the mod brings, such as being able to do a parry attack and a shield parry attack. You'll also be able to dodge left and right, then counter attack immediately, all with proper animations. Additionally, pairing with smooth moveset will overall enhance how your character handles each weapon during idle. Idle animations transitions depending on the situation. Whether you're in combat or out of combat, you'll now have proper animations that will play accordingly. There's some little details like your character naturally adjusting their movement when stopping mid-movement. Next up, we have Draw Fix Move Equip Animation Fix. This mod basically fixes the stiff upper body when drawing weapons. In vanilla Skyrim, the animation is designed to look natural only while standing still. As shown on screen, a snapping-like animation triggers during movement. But with this mod installed, you'll now have no problem drawing your weapon during movement. Now we got all those out of the way, there's still a problem. Despite you having better animations, the NPCs are still stuck in 2011 with the same old vanilla swings. This can look and feel jarring when facing them. Lucky for us, Scar, or also known as Skyrim Combat AI Revolution, fixes exactly that, as this mod finally gives NPCs the ability to use proper combos and dynamic movesets. I also recommend getting ADXP I MCO Elden Ring Moveset collection, as it introduces a complete set of animations that are Scar patched. With these, you can expect NPCs using Elden Ring animations against you. Now we got all those fancy animations, we will need a mod that allows us to dodge these chain attacks. There are a ton of dodge mods on Nexus, but I personally use TK Dodge Rescript Free. I find it the most suitable dodge mod, and pairing it with dynamic dodge animation, you'll now have even better animations when dodging. Plus with weapon specific 8-way dodge animations, you'll be able to dodge towards any direction. What I especially love about this mod is the unique dodge animation depending on the weapon you use. And in case dodging isn't your thing, Dynamic Block Hit got you covered with separate block hit animations when blocking normal attacks and power attacks, random block hit animations for each weapon group, and additional special block hit animations. Take note that the mod utilizes Maxsu block overall, and at the moment it's only available for players playing in Skyrim 1.5.97. If you're wondering if there will be ever an update, I don't think so. With all the mods we've covered so far, we're already pretty close to perfection when it comes to animations and feel. But if you want to enhance the overall combat gameplay, we still need a few more mods to tweak Skyrim. We have Valhalla Combat. This mod enhances the gameplay mechanic for melee combat. The mod introduces resource management and a ton of other mechanics such as time blocking, projectile parrying, stun and execution, all these while being script-free. Valhalla combat introduces stamina cost to all light attacks. This means you can't just spam attacks mindlessly. You've got to be aggressive but precise. If you miss too many swings, you'll exhaust yourself, leaving you dealing half damage until you recover. However, light attacks that hits your opponents will regenerate stamina. This encourages a more aggressive playstyle that requires precise positioning and timing. Another feature would be blocking projectile at a cost of magicka. This also depends on the damage and magnitude of the incoming projectile. So if you do not have enough magicka, you won't be able to block projectiles without getting damage unless it's a timed block. Similar to God of War and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, stun and execution is now in the game as well. If you're using True HUD, you'll see a new meter above the enemy's health. This yellow meter decreases from offensive actions such as damage stun, attacking, blocking, and so much more. If this yellow meter reaches 0, they enter a state where they are stunned and vulnerable to be executed. Another gameplay addition I recommend having is smart NPC potions, enemy use potions, and poisons. This mod adds a nice immersive level of gameplay, as it was honestly weird that despite the abundance of potions available in Skyrim, NPCs weren't using any of them. This mod changes that by allowing NPCs to use it during combat. This will not only make fights fairer but more unpredictable and harder with everything we've included so far. Overall, the type and effectiveness of the potion will depend on the class of the NPC, if they are a warrior, mage, or assassin. Plus, their level takes into account as well. Higher level enemies will have access to better potions or poisons. Despite having all these amazing mods, there's still something missing. Let's be honest, despite Skyrim being rated M, Skyrim's blood and gore isn't well defined. Lucky for you, we have a lot of mods that will enhance this aspect and make combat even more brutal. We first have Sanguine Symphony. This mod overhauls the impacts you and NPCs get when in combat with new brutal visual effects that makes every swing, stab, and arrow impact feel real, like adaptive blood splatters, detailed decals, and subtle physics tweaks to make each strike feel lifelike, violent, and satisfying. One of the features of the mod is Full Impact Overhaul. This basically drives all visual and sound effects based on the weapon type you're using, armor worn, and hit location. Every time you hit your opponents, it'll now feel heavy, responsive, and basically just a lot more immersive. So now when hitting NPCs with heavy armor, you'll now hear metal clashing to one another as you hit your opponents. Or if they're using leather armor, you'll hear appropriate sounds for it. This also depends on the weapon you use, and each weapon will have their own sound effects. Localized impacts are now also working, so when an NPC has no helmet but has heavy armor, hitting the unprotected areas will trigger a flesh sound effect when getting hit. This also works for arrows whenever you use a bow. Dynamic bloodshed is also another great feature, as bloodshed will depend on the NPC's health. If an NPC with full health gets hit, there won't be much blood spilling out, but as soon as the health of the NPC diminish, you'll be able to see much more bloodshed. What's even more amazing is that all these can be modified through the mod's MCM menu. Next, we have Dismembering Framework. Dismembering Framework is a mod that enhances Skyrim's combat system by adding real-time dismemberment. Now, when you slice through your foes who dares to stand against you, it has never been so satisfying. With realistic blood splatters and even adaptive sound effects based on the armors and weapons you use, you will truly feel immersed in your purging glory. Combat will definitely feel a lot more fun as the experience is seamless. You won't be stuck in any cinematic movesets for dismembering, which I honestly don't like, so having this mod makes it a lot more fun. Plus, the customizability through the mod's MCM menu gives you detailed control over actor types and dismembering chances. Next Gen Decapitations is another gameplay mod that I think everyone should have by now. This mod fixes a ton of known crashes related to decapitations, race menu overlays, or even mods that overhauls NPCs. With this mod, you'll now have an even more seamless experience slicing your foes. It's also worth mentioning that the mod also adds a few more features like flying helmets, air physics upon helmet ejection if you have that enabled, better blood decals, and a lot more. And yes, that's about it for our best combat overhaul setup in 2025. I do hope you guys enjoyed this as this took a while to make. Anyways, if you want to find mods to enhance your Skyrim even more, be sure to check my other videos. So yeah, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. As always, thanks for the support and I hope to see you all in the next one. Stay safe and happy modding!